All right. All right. So Braves lose a series to Seattle. Obviously, we're recording just a few hours after the win against Seattle. What was this final score? 5-2.
I believe so.
Um, firstly, check us out. This now podcast is sponsored and presented by Unishippers Atlanta. Check them out. All your shipping needs in Atlanta. Why don't you do the Unishippers real quick?
Yeah, if you're a small to medium-sized business and you have any kind of shipping needs, whether it's FedEx, UPS on the small parcel, or your less than truckload, we specialize in working with small to medium-sized businesses, helping them reduce their shipping costs and streamline some things to pick up some operational efficiency. So feel free to get in contact with us. Look us up in Unishippers Atlanta, and you should be able to find us. We
All
also
right,
are nationwide, even though we're based out of Atlanta.
sure. And then check out Terminus Sports ATL on WordPress. You can just Google it, Terminus Sports ATL. It'll pop up on Google. I got to write story tonight about the game. And then check us out on Twitter. Terminus Sports underscore Atlanta or underscore ATL. Sorry, and then like and subscribe and comment on this page. Obviously, share with a friend, tell your loved ones. I don't know. Do something. We need to continue to grow this page. All right. So first, before we start talking about um, the Braves on the field, let's talk about off the field for just a second. Make it quick. Last night after the Braves game, I don't know what. I guess it ended midnight. Uh, Bally Sports and Comcast have come to a disagreement about providing. I don't know really the ins and outs of the whole thing, but the Braves are not on Xfinity uh, cable provider Comcast, and Xfinity is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, cable providers in the Southeast, and especially in the state of Georgia. Saw Dangerous 88% of the state is covered by the state of Georgia, at least, is covered by Xfinity. Also, their corporate headquarters in the Southeast is literally in the Battery.
Yeah.
Um, my main takeaway is, and I know there's issues with licensing and who I think Liberty Media owns the media rights to the Braves, and that's why they're not on Amazon Prime, like the Diamondbacks, where you can buy into a package to watch them because Bally's going to be gone next year. It won't exist. So, what were you about to say? Something?
Well, I Bally's and I don't know where the blame lies, but Bally's can't get it together with YouTube TV. Now they're at loggerheads with Xfinity.
Yeah, the
And
only thing
I don't know
they're
who's at
only on
fault.
AT&T Uverse. I think I could be wrong about AT&T. They're on DirecTV and they're on Fubo TV, and then that's it. And Spectrum, which I had in Athens whenever I first moved up here. That's it. There's no other cable providers. And the Diamondbacks, what they did was, well, hey, look, you can't get them on most of your TVs. We'll have the ability to stream it. And you pay I think it was $59.99 or $49.99. So it's pretty cheap to watch all 162 games. It's a pretty good deal. The
Is that
MLB
where everything's going to be going? You think?
probably, but I
Gotta buy
mean,
the package to watch your team? That's
yeah.
crazy to me. That's
But I
crazy.
mean, honestly, it's cheaper than getting cable.
No, I agree. But I guess what I'm saying, the reason I find it crazy is because, you know, your baseball team, like Atlanta, for example, it covers all of the Southeast, and
Yeah.
you would think that Major League Baseball, considering that it used to be America's game, right? America's pastime, has gone since back in the 70s. It's each decade it seems to be going down viewership and attendance. I don't know about attendance, but viewership for sure. It seems like you should try to work to make baseball more accessible. Trout, one of the best players in all of baseball, and you never get to see him, right?
No,
Well, first of
hardly.
all, he's hurt all the time, but secondly, even if he wasn't, you never get to see. If you're gonna, NBA and NFL does a much better job of promoting their star athletes than Major League Baseball.
For sure. And that the biggest, to me, the biggest problem with Major League Baseball are these blackouts. Because this now your base, like I was thinking about how some like our family members would have been affected if they were still around with this thing.
Oh, Tommy, my uncle would be apoplectic. He wouldn't even know
Right,
what to do.
exactly. And I was thinking about him, and I was like, well, fuck, what would he do? I mean, literally, he would just melt in a puddle.
Yeah.
So, but the one way that MLB and the Braves could fix this, it's really simple. Just get rid of the blackouts, because the NFL doesn't do blackouts anymore. The NBA doesn't do blackouts anymore. College football does not do.
I don't know what the blackouts are. What's the criteria for a blackout? In Major League Baseball.
In Major League, it's worse than college football. Even it's about the same of what college football was back in the day. Essentially, by the way, allergies have been kicking my ass. So if I sound stuffed up, it's allergies. But essentially, if you're covered, if you're in the Southeast, if you're in the Braves bubble, right, from Georgia to Tennessee to North Carolina to parts of Louisiana, you can't watch the Braves on a streaming service on MLB TV. Can't get them. And I know the idea is, well, hey, if we black these out, then people will want to come to the ballpark. It's not 1932 anymore. That's not how this shit works. So,
and Atlanta, the Braves reach, to your point, that's a big geographic area. People can't just hop in the car on a weeknight and come to a 7:30 ball game, and they have to get a hotel room. That's a major trip. People, and with the economy being what it is, people can't have that kind of money.
Well, here's the other thing too. It's not just the Braves geographically are probably the largest. They do have the largest footprint of any Major League Baseball team, but all these teams that are on Bally and that are on with Xfinity. Xfinity is the biggest cable provider in the country. So you're wiping a whole portion of your main fan base. And that's Cleveland, that's St. Louis, Arizona, I know is a Bally. Who
made the decision to give this to Bally's anyway?
Well, Bally's bought up Fox Sports.
Okay, but Major League Baseball had to do a deal of some sort with Bally's, right?
I don't know the ins and outs of that. I think they just bought up the contract that Fox Sports had with Major League Baseball.
I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty sad when you can't. Summertime being the only thing that's on TV. I sound like my uncle, but seriously, in the June, July, and August, the only thing that's on TV that's worth watching is a baseball game. And baseball is great because even if it's a Tuesday night game and it's 7 o'clock or 7:30, you can watch the first couple innings. If you want to flip channels for a little bit and come back and you pick it back up in the fifth. In other words, you can monitor a baseball game, but I just don't understand, if you're trying to promote the sport, why it's so difficult to watch your team. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and who knows if anything gets done. I mean, YouTube TV took all of Major League Baseball off, and it's been an issue. So that we'll read about. This is the Brave statement this morning. It was at 9:14 on Twitter. A carriage dispute between Comcast and Diamond Sports Group is impacting several Major League Baseball teams, including the Braves. As a result, Comcast customers are currently unable to watch their games. Customers using other cable providers or streaming services are not impacted. Fans can listen to the game live on 680 The Fan. Says nothing about, hey, we're going to try to fix this. This is an issue.
I'm wondering if it's even within their control to fix it mid-season like this. I mean, I don't even know.
Well, it should be Major League Baseball's best interest.
Totally agree.
You're going to lose viewership, and that in turn affects the playoffs.
Sure, it does.
Yeah.
This is a guy that used to watch every Braves game. It was very, very rare that I'd miss a Braves game through 162. I haven't watched but maybe 3 this whole year, and I have listened on 680 The Fan because I have. And that's the other thing. These platforms, people have got to start understanding. I have YouTube TV. You got to make it accessible to people that are not just on traditional cable as well.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I mean, if you are in the 21st century, not in the 20th century, you know about the European illegal websites where you can watch the Braves. I haven't missed a game. I've watched every single one on a phone or a laptop.
I don't want to break the law.
Well, whenever they're fucking over the fan base, I'm okay with fucking over them. So breaking the law, really, eye for an eye on this one. So I just thought a general discussion about it would be decent. I know a lot of people are pissed, and they have the right to be. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll find out. Hey, Nashville. Think about this. Nashville not only had the Braves on West Coast playing, but then right after the Braves game, they had a hockey game. The Predators are playing in Canada. I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend about NHL, but they were playing. They cut it mid-game.
Cut the Braves game?
No, the Predators playoff
Oh,
game.
really?
Yeah, people were pissed in Nashville.
Yeah, I don't blame them. If I lived in Nashville, I know it's a big deal. The Predators are up there.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people are upset and pissed off, and I'm with you. Check out, maybe do a Google search on how you can other ways around and not paying for watching the Braves. It's really easy. It takes like 2 seconds, unless you're north of 40. Then exactly.
It's a lot of struggle. You got to go through closed pop-up ads, and I've attempted a couple of times. So
it's not that complicated. All right. Well, let's talk about the series, and then we'll look ahead to the Dodgers a little bit. Just a little bit, probably not much. My main takeaway is the conspiracy theory that there's dead balls in baseball is 100% true. You cannot convince me otherwise whenever, and I'm not a big, like I said multiple times on videos, I'm not an analytics guy. This is a meathead sports view of things, especially with the Braves. There's no way you can tell me, and I don't like exit velocity, but when a ball is getting hit 115 miles an hour and it's only traveling 330 feet, that math just does not work. So Major League Baseball, once again, saw way too many home runs, and they fucked with the baseball again. You can't tell me that they have not done that.
Well, I know it's a small sample size, but the Braves hit more home runs than any other club in history last year, right?
Right.
Now, I mean, I know it's early part of the season, but not nearly as many home runs. So I think there's probably something to that. Now, I would also say let's wait and give it till summertime when temperature changes, humidity goes up down here.
That's what happens with all these dead balls. I mean, I don't know if you remember the last time that they fucked with the balls, but from the colder weather months, the balls weren't going anywhere. And then whenever it got hot, then the balls were juiced, and it was just home run, home run, home run, home run, and that was about the only way teams were scoring was just home runs.
Well, then you're going to have a tale of multiple seasons because when the playoffs gets here, it's September and October, you're playing baseball to die again, if that's the case.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. I forget what year that was. It was either 2019 or 2020, 2022. It was somewhere in that range where they fucked with the baseballs and they messed it up. But more to the point, and I know it's only 2 games, but really 2. It's been longer than that though. But the top of the lineup has not been hitting well. Acuna,
Riley struggled. Acuna struggled.
yeah,
Riley, Matt Olson struggled. So yeah, you're exactly right.
yeah, and to me, that's right now the biggest problem. Now, today or Wednesday, when we're recording this, if I can talk, uh, top of the lineup was carry the water today, and look what happened.
Right.
Scored 5 runs.
Yeah. What was it? The first night they carried the lead, and then Minter gave up the walk-off home run. But in all fairness to Minter, which he hadn't given up the home run, but you score 1 run, you honestly can't expect to win that game, right? I mean, you have to, yeah. So I would say the pitching was not the problem. Second game, they didn't score any runs, right?
Not until the 8th inning.
8th inning, okay. And then today they scored, but the pitching's not been the issue. Sale looked good. Lopez did okay, right? So it's not really. And then Freed was pretty good. That Freed pitched the first day.
Freed hit not as dominating as he did against the Marlins last week, but
sure.
just as good enough to get you the win.
For sure.
And that's the problem. And I also know it was colder in Seattle. It was down in the 50s. I don't know that that does do something, especially whenever you've been playing in Atlanta, where it's
in Venezuela. I know
yeah,
does not like the cold weather.
No, he does not. So I know it's a little bit of a difference, and that can play a factor, but I don't think it plays a major factor.
He's pressing a little bit now. I think at the beginning of the year, and I still say there's nothing to worry about, and I don't think it. I think now it's starting to affect him a little bit, where he's pressing too much. But I mean, it was productive day to day. But my thing is, as Ozzie goes and Acuna goes, this team is going to go. It's going to be really important for them to. And Ozzie he's got a 14-game hit streak, right?
Ozzie's been playing fine. Yeah.
But Acuna, he'll come around. But right now, he's definitely struggling. I think he's pressing, and I think he's a little frustrated.
Yeah, and Snicker said, he's doing things in other ways to help us win. And sure. I think that's probably the most important thing, and it's going to come. It's going to come, and it's going to be like one of those where it's like, oh, that's why he's the MVP, because he'll have this run, and I don't know when it's going to come, but it's coming. Riley, the slider away at the knees, dude. That's been his Achilles his entire career. And it looked 2021, 22, 23, he wasn't doing it as much. And that'll be a kiss my ass, man. He's going right back to it.
He was better today. He laid off some of those where, 2 weeks or a week ago, 2 days ago, he would have swung at him. But I agree. Low and away, boy. He'll take a slice at him every single time.
Yeah. And it's the same with Olsen. I don't even know what to do with Olsen because he's making hard contact and he's knocking the shit out of the ball. It's just not going anywhere.
It'll come. All this will change. Yeah. I mean, they still have the best record in baseball?
Yeah, right? They have 20 wins, yeah.
So it will come. It's going to go through ebbs and flows. I mean, this is a marathon, not a sprint. But you would certainly like to see all of them get hot. That would be a lot of fun. All of them get hot at the same time. Right now, it's really who's carrying I would say having the best lately. It would be Ozzie's been hot. Who else? Darno was hot there for a while.
Yeah, and Marcel was hot there for a little bit. But
yeah. He had the most RBIs of any Braves in it, right? Any Brave before the.
Oh yeah, he leads the National League. I think he might.
Yeah, he's been hot.
Yeah,
but our guys that you would think the Acuñas and the Olsons and the Rileys, They haven't woken up yet.
No. All right. I mean, is there any other thoughts that you had on the Seattle? I mean, my main takeaway was just kind of what I just said. Top of the lineup, not hitting well. It's not gonna, the engine's just not gonna go. Hitting's got to get a little bit better. Pitching's been fine. Been pretty pleased with pitching. I guess we didn't even really talk about the Cleveland series, but that was extra innings. It feels like every Braves game has been a one-run game. Has it not to you?
Well, yeah, a lot of them have been.
Yeah.
Close games.
If
you look, they're playing really good teams right now, right?
Yeah, Cleveland, Seattle's probably a playoff in the mix. Cleveland is surprising people, but their bullpen's been really good, and their starting pitching has been really good.
So the last 4 teams that were in the playoffs, we played Diamondbacks, played the Phillies,
played the Rangers.
Now we're playing Seattle Mariners. They've been good. So their schedule has been. You can't say that. Well, the Braves are beating up on the teams that they should beat and breaking 500 with teams that are good. That's not the case. They're dominating everybody thus far, and they're not at full strength. We still don't have Murphy back. I think the pitching staff. I mean, obviously Strider going down. I've got to tell you, the more I watch him pitch, the more I'm becoming a real. If he can make it through the end of the year, Sale can be very nasty.
Sale's going to be, if he can stay healthy and remain right, playoff time. He has the stuff, that swing and miss stuff.
Yes, he does. You know who he reminds me of? Like not like maybe not velocity or whatever, but Randy, the way he releases the ball and he just sort of slings it or whips it.
Funny you said that because did you hear them talk about that?
No, I promise I did not.
Well, that's good on you. He wears number 51. Well, it's also the TV broadcast. It wasn't radio. He wears 51 because Randy Johnson was his favorite baseball player growing up.
His motion and his release looks a lot like Randy Johnson's. I was noticing that whenever I was watching because, see, I listen on the radio, and then every day I watch the highlights on YouTube. So today I listened whenever I was driving to and from, appointments, and then I got home, and after the game was over, I watched the highlights, and so I just kept watching his motion, and that makes it hard. I don't think players can pick up the ball very well, or hitters can't.
No. So, and Elder, he's been
dancing through white raindrops.
Yeah, but look, he's serviceable. So
sure, I think he'll probably end up. We'll see. I would like to get that 5th spot settled here sooner rather than later.
I think here's the thing. Elder's also slated to pitch against the Mets Sunday night. Or no, that's Saturday. So I would say there's a good chance that he's got.
If he has a good outing, because his other outing wasn't bad, right?
So no, it wasn't bad, but it's like a Bryce start.
Yes, I know. Nerve-wracking.
Yeah, extremely. All right. Well, let's kind of go looking forward. So the Braves have a series here with the Dodgers. Interesting. There'll be a lot of hoopla about it early on because these are supposed to be the 2 best teams in baseball. You got a 10-10 start, a 9-10 start, and then on Sunday a 4-10 start.
You have to catch me up during the break.
Yeah,
I can't stay up that late, man.
But Morton is going to go against Stone, who I don't really know anything about. Elder's going to go against Glasnow, who was Tampa Bay's pitcher last year. Pretty damn good pitcher. And then Freed is going to get on the bump on Sunday against Paxton. Again, don't know who that is. So
Otani's not going to pitch?
He can't pitch.
I was going to ask the odds.
Well, he would know. And then he'd blame it on his interpreter. But the Braves again. I mean, you said the last video, if they can stay 500 on the stretch. I don't know how far we went down in the stretch where you said if they could just play 500 ball, they'll be okay.
I still believe that.
I
And then
think
we're gonna see those stretches to where that's all in a West Coast road trip. Yeah, if they can come back and be, at 500, that would be. Wouldn't you consider that a successful West Coast road trip? I would.
well, they would have to take 2 out of the 3 against Los Angeles. So yeah, that would be a really successful road trip. And then they play Boston Tuesday and Wednesday, and then the Mets that weekend, and we're going on the road to play the Mets. So, we'll see. I feel fine where this team's at right now. I'm not that concerned. I think the hitting will come sooner rather than later. Though I do think Major League Baseball fucked with the baseballs. Just we have to address it. We can't watch them on TV. They're messing with the balls. What's really going on in baseball? And they're covering up Tony's gambling. What is going on?
We've always said Major League Baseball is the worst run professional sport that there is in the United States. Terrible. Oh, it's terrible. It's
I think NHL might be NHL.
Maybe so. To your earlier point, I don't pay enough attention to the. I'm talking about the major sports, and people up in the north would say the NHL is a major sport. I would disagree. Right. It's baseball, football, basketball, and out of those 3, Major League Baseball's had its head up its ass for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So
you're gonna ban Pete Rose from baseball, but yet we're just gonna sweep the Ohtani shit under the rug. I don't exactly understand that either. All that doesn't smell right to me. But what do I know?
It doesn't add up at all. So I don't know. But we're supposed to be sheep, I guess. Welcome to the conspiracy podcast.
We hadn't even started talking about world politics or aliens. This is just on baseball. If you think we're out there now, just wait. We'll do a UFO podcast next.
Who's at the grassy knoll? Yeah, I guess to sum it all up, I think the Braves are doing fine. I think the end result, it's not what you wanted it. Obviously, Braves should have won one of those games that they dropped. Probably, honestly, the game they should have won was the first game of the series. Yeah. They should have won.
Well enough, but they didn't hit. So.
No, Jimenez, he got out of jam, bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning. Going into
another guy, by the way, Jimenez, whenever he first started pitching for Atlanta, I got to tell you, I wasn't a huge fan, but he's gotten progressively where I've got a lot more confidence in him.
All right, this will be my last thing, and you can go on however long of a diatribe. Bummer. I know I have shit on him a little bit since he got here. Greatly improved the past 2 games. So the bullpen's starting to get a little more solid, and it's going to be hard to beat the Braves, especially whenever you're going to the bullpen.
Well, a couple things I would say big picture wise. Let's get healthy. Let's get Murphy back. Let's not have anybody else get hurt. Acuna needs to stop pressing. I know that's easier said than done. Let's lock down who's going to be that 5th starter. And this team, I think, is going to be perfectly fine. And I think to go back to what we were talking about with the juice baseball and all that kind of stuff, playoff baseball, if Atlanta's going to do something different than they did last year and the year before, if they're going to go on a run, they got to have pitching depth. They got to have swing and miss guys. And I think that if it is a dead baseball and it cools off in September and October and we're seeing baseball, that bodes well. And I'm okay with the Braves not hitting as many home runs. Just keep the lineup going, man. If all these guys get hot and and do what they're capable of doing, this is the best team in baseball.
Well, I mean, think about all the things that we've just nitpicked and talked about how bad things are going, but yet they have the best record in baseball.
Yeah.
So when it all comes together, this team is going to be really hard to beat, and it's going to be the best team in baseball, top to
Totally
bottom.
agree.
So, but all right. So, you got anything before we log off here?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, great ending. Check us out on Unishippers Atlanta, Terminus Sports Atlanta, or ATL, and then Terminus Sports _ ATL on Twitter. And then like and subscribe, comment, share it with a cousin. I don't know. Who cares?
And to the people watching this, we really appreciate y'all checking out our Braves content. We've gotten a lot of views, or not a lot, but we've gotten views, right? So
yeah, we've gotten views. Yeah, we've gotten people. So just keep coming, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, all right. See you on the other side.
See ya.